Capture. Okay, try talking. Okay, I've got sound activity from the audio input up here. Not anyone else? Okay, so let's try this then. So instead of audio input,
I wonder if each camera is like its own audio output that
Want
you have
me
to
to
like connect.
I
Oh, there
hear
you go.
GQ.
Nice. Sweet.
I heard
Yeah,
myself. Okay.
we're in there. I hear everybody.
I heard myself. Okay. All right, there we go. Should we just take it from the top and just?
Yeah, might as well.
I don't think they heard anything we said up till now, so that's all right.
okay.
This is the maiden voyage. Nothing's gonna go right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty much how it goes. Okay, so we've got my audio input here, and what about you guys?
Oh, you're good, man. I can hear you. I got these guys on. Perfect.
I can hear you.
Great. Mm, mm. Okay, so yeah, I guess we're gonna try and take this from the top. This is, of course, the soft launch and the mad scramble to try and launch the Double KO arcade. Uh, Introductions all around, just really quickly. We got uh, just introductions all around, really quickly. We got the Blue Riot Bot and, of course, GQ Asian Dude. Both of these guys, friends of the channel, day one ride or dies. Like, if I were actually opening a physical location, I'd want these two guys on hand. Simple as that. But with that being said, though, you know what? Let's get back to the conversation. We were talking about, the stuff that was going on at the State of Play, and the first thing that we were actually mentioning was Concord.
Mm.
And there ain't much that we can really say about it.
Yeah, I have my no. Like I said before we while we were muted, I said bad CG trailer, great value hero shooter, and that I can't think of another way to describe that. Um, if you like, by the way, I counted the total hero shooters we got, new ones. It's five if you want to count indies, but
Really?
it's four in total.
Jesus.
Yes,
That's
there's some others I counted. Some other weird game things. We'll get to that, but yeah. So I think that's our only opinion on Concord.
I
None
just
of
think
us here kind of care for it.
yeah, it's
Oh,
to me it's
also,
really
did that TV
surprising.
background noise go away? Because I just turned the fan off.
Okay.
But
Now I was just
yeah,
what is this? I was really shocked because like I think we're in the era of BRs and the fact another hero shooter came out was like really interesting because I thought that era was done. So they're kind of coming in kind of late on that. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, and again, just on this end,
I think we're gonna get this battle royale has been taken over by Fortnite, Call of Duty, and what's the one by Respawn?
Apex.
Uh,
Apex Legends?
Apex Legends, and that like trying to compete in that market's a nightmare. I can't imagine another battle royale popping up and being successful long run. I think it's going to be like extraction shooters and similar to uh, I'm thinking fake Space Marine game,
Oh, Helldivers.
Helldivers 2,
Mm,
which is a cooperative game. Yeah, and you don't have to deal with like the same problems. So I kind of feel we're about to get a bunch of those. I could be wrong though. I don't know. But yeah, let's move on from Concord. Like I said, we don't really have much to say on it. Next was God of War Ragnarok. I mentioned while we were muted. Uh, it should have, to me, it should have been in the Summer Games Fest proper. It's really weird that PlayStation put a PC port in their main thing. Maybe they just wanted to fill time, but I don't think so.
I
Past that, we got to the first exciting news. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Um.
was gonna let you.
Yeah. On God of War, really quick though, I think it's probably just because it is still a PlayStation flagship title, and since they're doing something new with it, they gotta show it off at their flagship summer event.
that's true.
Yeah, I got something I'm gonna kind of mention on that. Like, I see what you're saying, but there's like another thing that came up in Summer Games Fest itself that kind of makes me scratch my head. So, but yeah, I get what you're saying. All right, first game I think we all care for, and I'll let Ace take over after I say this because I already said my piece. Dynasty Warrior Origins.
Yeah. Dynasty Warriors Origins is definitely one that got my attention because frankly, after the considering the drought that we had since Dynasty Warriors 9 and Empires, I had actually kind of just given up hope. Especially since Koei Tecmo was doing more games like, Wo Long Fallen Dynasty and, of course, Rock and Neo.
I
So,
mean,
yeah, you know, actually seeing that sweeping excuse me, actually seeing that sweeping battlefield and just seeing all those, well, frankly, all those bodies waiting to be laid out. And then they show the new point character who is, going to be a creator warrior. And with all the information with all the information they're dropping on that, it makes me think they're going to try and do what they did back with Dynasty Warriors 5. Says you remember how they focused on the Destiny mode in that, which is literally, you build
Oh
your own
yeah,
character and you take them from basically peon to general. Level them up, give them, hook them up with skills, hook them up with, a custom office, hook them up with an established officer's weapon and have them, basically playing through their own pre-made story running parallel to the main narrative of the game.
yeah. I think they did that also in like Samurai Warriors 4, or they had a mode similar to that
Yeah.
because there was one where you're yeah, which I'm going to be real. I've kind of got into the Warriors more recently, so I'm not as versed in it as everyone else here. I think so, but I've been enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
never too late.
All right, GQ, you got anything you want to say?
Um, no, it's cool that we're getting another installment of Dynasty Warriors. My personal gripe with it was I was expecting kind of like a relaunch on the art aesthetic, making it more like Samurai Warriors 5. But the Dynasty Warriors version, that was my hope for that. But uh, it's okay. I'm still interested. I'm still intrigued, and I think this is the next generation of Dynasty Warriors games coming up. That's it.
All right. Okay, back to the list. Next is Infinity Nikki, and my note for this is I know the exact type of girl this is for, and I don't know if you know who. You probably don't know him, but it's like that type of girl who wants to like dress up game and take photos everywhere. And I know that girl, and that's what this is for, and that's fine. It also felt like it had rip off Mario music from Mario Odyssey. I don't know if anyone else felt that.
Well,
But next
It,
is
it definitely had some Mario Odyssey vibes, that's for sure.
yeah, it gave me Mario Galaxy.
yeah, really okay. But all right, next Ballad of Antara. This was a CG trailer, but it was like for a Souls-like live service game. That's what I think it was. This was the one where they had a guy with a child on his back. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember seeing a little bit of that. You said that's gonna be a live. That's gonna be a live service game.
It's a live service game.
Oh,
Yes.
Christ!
So, right. Yeah. So that's about all I have to say on that. Uh, next, PSVR games. I don't think any of us have the PSVR. One was a Shadow of the Colossus game, and one was well, it wasn't Shadow of the Colossus, but it was like that. And the other was Alien, the franchise game. Um,
Oh, man. I
I
I
have to
laugh
be very
because
clear about how to say that.
I laugh because that trailer ran at like 15 frames a second, and it was terrible.
Damn, that bad, huh?
It did. That looked rough.
Yeah.
All right. Marvel Rivals, our second hero shooter. It's really weird that we had a second hero shooter in a showcase that was trying to sell their own hero shooter. I don't know why they did this.
Now I've got a
It's
few things to say about Marvel Rivals. Firstly, I actually really dig the character designs. I love what they did with the look of all the characters in Marvel Rivals. I'm
yeah, they all look
wishing they
great.
had done that for Avengers.
Mm. Hmm.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
If they had
That
gone that
comic
route
book
with
art
Avengers instead
style
of
that
trying
they
to
kind
go
of
the
have.
semi MCU route, then I know a hell of a lot more people would have stuck around for the long run.
The MCU from your local youth group.
I
Uh,
I do like the designs of the Marvel Rivals game.
I-
It's super cool, super like it's super edgy, sharp, and looks fast. Like that's how they look. That's I feel like that's their design concept of that. To kind of piggyback when you were saying Ace, if the Avengers game had like some sort of um I don't know, like like MK1 where you can equip your character to a certain gear to look cool. I feel like if the Avengers game had that instead of just the costumes and skins in general, it would have done a lot better. But that game was also just a nightmare to market.
Right, or if nothing else, again, I just going back to Avengers, part of it I really feel like part of what turned a lot of people off from it was just again, the the art direction, the fact that again it was another comic book game that tried. It was another Marvel game that tried to lean more into the MCU instead of
Mhm.
leaning more into the comics.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we're getting that mod with MVCI and beyond.
it also advertised itself terribly.
Because yeah, that's going more towards the comics, and people are gravitating to it.
Yeah.
So if we see another
I don't
game,
think
if
anyone knew the gameplay. Yeah.
but yeah, if we see another game like Avengers, I really do hope that again, it takes more of its visual cues from stuff like Marvel Rivals and Future Fight and that other one, the mobile MMOs that actually looked really close to the comics.
All right. Now that we've gotten Marvel Rivals out, we can do what's next? Oh, Where Winds Meet. This was the other list of uh, oddly specific genre, and it's the Souls-like / Sekiro made by a Chinese company. There were like 4 of these.
Yeah, I did notice
Like a total of 5 as well.
the high influx of Chinese developers.
Mm.
I did, but that's because I think both PlayStation and Xbox invested a lot of money into like companies overseas. This was like I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. Um, it was announced that long ago, and we're like starting to see the fruits of that.
Yeah,
I don't really have anything to say on it. It looks fine
what you call it?
for
It
what
was
it is.
the China Hero Project, because that's the same thing where we're getting Lost Soul Aside.
Oh,
That's it. Yeah.
I love that game. Looks great.
Okay. All right. Next, Until Dawn remake. I don't know. I know GQ really likes this game. I don't know if he has anything he wants to say.
Nah, I'm good.
All right.
I don't
All
know.
right. Next, Path of Exile. I don't really play these games. I don't know about. I know GQ's our local Diablo king.
Yeah. I guess 2 cents on Path of Exile. It's free, if it's still free to play, fantastic. The original Path of Exile, the first one, was made by Diablo 2 devs that branched off from the Blizzard team when they made Diablo 3. So if you like the hardcore Diablo 2 style, play Path of Exile. It's definitely right up your alley. Other than that, all thing I gotta say about it is that Path of Exile 2 game looks a lot better than Diablo 4. That's all I gotta say.
All right. After Path of Exile, we have Silent Hill 2. My note is will probably be the best game since Silent Hill 4, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I don't know if Ace has these games. GQ, I'm pretty sure has. Uh, this series is made up of 3 games that are considered good: Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3, and 2 games that are okay. That's 4 and Shattered Memories, and everything else is dog water.
So these progressively get
Worse
worse.
than that, they have. This will probably. I'm a Konami hater. I'm not buying this, but I'm sure it's going to be good. It looks like it'll be good. I'm just not going to take part in it. I don't know if you. I know GQ. know Ace played or,
I'm
but
not too big
GQ.
into
I don't know your thoughts on it.
horror or survival horror. Just hasn't always been my thing. But I did play and enjoy Silent Hill 2, the original. But I don't know. I feel like we've had so many remakes over the last couple years that that's just one that I'm just gonna take a pass on.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna pass on it too. My only question about Silent Hill is I didn't know Konami still had a video game division, so that was really shocking that they pumped this out. So
Right?
that's all I gotta say about it.
They've to start games again for some reason. The results have been mixed to say the best. It's kind of because they'll put out something that's okay, and then they'll put something out like that Contra game, which I've heard is terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, and I think. Uh, all right, if that's all we got to say about Silent Hill 2, our next thing is Monster Hunter Wilds, which will probably be my first month. Hunter because I finally have okay internet by my standards.
Cool. I know this is Ace's baby, so I'll let him lead on this one.
Okay, so with Monster Hunter Wilds, I'm actually I'm actually kind of skeptical on it, largely because I know that what they've shown off so far has been like, supposedly, that's a seamless transition between cinematics and gameplay. But I definitely want to see. I just want to see more gameplay. I know there's supposed to be like a demo at one of these upcoming events, so I want to see more from that. I want to see how they've changed up how the weapons operate. I am still very, well, not angry so much as just irritated that we're still working with just the 14 base weapons when there is a good amount of the fan base, myself included, that has been clamoring for, you know, the other weapons that were added in Monster Hunter Frontier to actually make the transition to, the console Monster Hunter games. The Magnet Spike, the Tonfa. I mean, make it an even 16 weapon types for folks to choose from and work with. And of course,
Yeah, that
you know me.
sounds.
You know how much I love how much I love my brawler type weapons. Anyway, so if we can get at least the Tonfa in there, I'm good. But other than that, it definitely looks like
Yeah, I kind of was seeing some of that.
yeah, but yeah, it definitely looks like well, it's got the same vibe for me as Monster Hunter World did when it first started showing off. Just that it really does feel like you're stepping into not just a new environment, but a new game. So, I'm interested in at the very least going hands-on or seeing more hands-on footage and getting more mechanical info from it before I make my purchasing decision.
Smart.
Well, that definitely makes sense. I'm kind of looking to get it. Maybe I don't know if it's day one. I'll probably keep my ear to the ground on that one. And I guess we'll finish off the state of play with Astrobot, which was seems to be everyone's favorite. It looked like a very fun little platformer. I haven't played any of the Astrobot franchise before this. I don't know if this will even come to PC. I don't have a PS5, so I'm not going to be playing it anytime soon.
I
I don't
don't
know
think
if
it
you guys
will.
have anything
See, to be honest with you, just
to say
because
on it.
the game is very PlayStation esque, right? Even the collectibles are like you're picking up PS5 consoles and stuff like that. Like I just think it's a fun little thing for Sony to have as like their Mario, I guess.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it looks like it's one of those. Sorry,
Oh, no worries. I was just gonna
uh,
say it.
it looks like it's one of those things that's to like
Yeah, it.
the delay for me. I guys, I'll let you say what you want to say.
Oh, no worries. But yeah, I was just saying that it feels like with Astrobot, it's what it's what Sony should have led. It's what Sony should have led the PS5 with. That mascot game, that killer app, that system seller that's for everybody, right? I mean, earlier generations they had Jumping Flash, they had Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, the Jack games, Jack and Daxter. Astrobot. I mean, hell, Ratchet and Clank. Astrobot is that game. It is that dude. And they had Astro's Playroom. They have that app on the PS5 that you can. I think Astro's Playroom is free to play.
It is. It's included when you buy it.
That's right. But again, it's kind of like what happened with Little Big Planet. Little Big Planet started off as just like with Astro's Playroom, a good tech demo.
Am I crashing out?
Excuse me. And then it just built from there. And I feel like Astro's Playroom, Astrobot is the logical progression from that tech demo.
Yeah, hopefully we get more
Yeah, I think
based.
it's some. Okay, I might reload the stream because I'm like messed up.
You do have a little bit of a
I'm
delay.
gonna say something. I want you to count how long before I. Yeah, I think it's like a full like 20 seconds. It's weird. I'm gonna very quickly just reload the.
Gotcha. Because taking a look at the stream at the live feed, it looks like he had like 2 seconds of delay there.
Yeah, if you're watching this stream, you're probably experiencing extra delay. That's it. That's the stream takes up a lot of bandwidth for sure.
That it do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Astro was a miss for Sony, but I think Sony understands their market is not Astro fans. It's literally like Call of Duty and what drives people to play the in game right now, right? And that right now is either going to be Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever that just has a giant audience, and that's not going to sell consoles. Like they want like the best graphics. That seems to be the priority these days. But I mean, when PCs and consoles are very very getting close to each other, it's going to be about convenience now. In my opinion, I think in the market.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. And yeah, it does come down to the fact that PCs and consoles are getting very close. Like the line between them is blurred big time.
hmm and I think that's like it's come to reality when Senua's Hellblade 2, um like instead of everyone saying this game looks incredible, everyone's been saying it's like a 4-hour game, and that's like and it's like I don't even know if it's full price, but like they just saying there's no value in the game. It's a walking simulator. But I feel like if this game came out in the beginning era of the Series X and then PS5, people would be like, "Oh my god, this game's so sick!" It's just like we're past that now. We're like nulled to good graphics anymore.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's the kind of environment we're in at this point. And again, it's the graphical fidelity arms race.
Yeah, especially with like cross play being a thing, it's just gonna be your preference at this point. So that's all it's gonna end up being.
And the thing about that is that okay, let's double check here. Let's get blue back up here. And there we go.
Hello, hello. Yeah, I
Hello.
had to reload. I think I decided to look at the chat, and my internet said no.
Damn.
Yeah, that
So I'm
happens.
not doing that again. Hey, I want to mention on Sinua's Sacrifice, whatever it's called.
Mhm.
I played the original, and that is a game that doesn't need a sequel. It's really weird that they decided to make that a sequel because about someone not getting over, but coming to terms with the inner conflict of having psychosis. And by the end, she does that. Where do you go from there?
New anxiety shows up.
Apparently it's trying to make it like this outward conflict, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the original from what I've heard. So it's, I don't know. I thought that was a bad idea the moment I heard about it. It's one of those games I legitimately thought, I'm like, yeah, we don't need a sequel to this ever.
Yeah,
So that's my 2 cents on that.
That's I think that's
Um,
calling it a walking simulator. Like it seems unnecessary.
well, the first one was as well. I've also heard something that they made the combat worse in the second one because in the first one you played it GQ.
Yeah, I did.
You could fight in multiple. A buddy of mine told you never fight more than one enemy at a time. So what happens? Get in a fight, and then once you beat a person, get grabbed from behind, thrown around, and then you're fighting a new guy, and that's how that game's combat works.
What?
That's accurate. Like you will get
You get to
like
have the Congo line of
it's true. You get surrounded by like three guys, but they come up at you one at a time. I never realized that, but yeah, that's a thing.
I. But anywho, thanks for keeping people busy while I dealt with my problems. I think that's it for state of play. What was your guys' overall thought on that? I kind of want to like gauge that. I thought it was, even though I knew it wasn't going to be much, it was disappointing. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, overall, state of play was aggressively mid.
uh,
Was that it, Ace? That was it? Just mid? Nothing?
Yep, just aggressively mid. Like
Okay. That's
the
fair.
only bright spot was really the only bright spot was really freaking Astrobot.
all right.
Yeah. Um I guess my two
Am I,
cents on it
I did again? Okay. No, I'm good.
is just it wasn't very there was nothing about it that made Sony stand out. Like if you think about all the titles that come out Sony only, which they're all coming out on PC now, so it doesn't matter. There wasn't anything to be like, this is why I need to buy a PS5, you know? And I think that's why it's kind of weak. We didn't have any announcements like that. I think if they had nothing, even just like a Bloodborne remaster would have been like something for people to kind of like drool over, you know? Like just give them something that you can only play on a PS5. And I think that's what was lacking in that state of play. That's it.
Yep. Oh damn. All right, give me just a second. All right, Blue, you should be back.
All right, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Tech issues. Yay.
Let's try to not die again. The because there's a bunch of them. Um, but I will occasionally call out early games that I saw and I've demos for. First up on that is Intravenous 2. If you want really good where you can customize your guns and your loads as much as you want. Next that I saw is Big Boy Boxing. This has been the best
Yes.
Punch Out indie game that I've ever seen.
Yes,
I
big
played
boy
it. It was
boxing.
very good. Yeah. Let's see. I kind of want to just do Yuka Replay. I don't care for it. Well, I say I don't care for it. I played the original. It wasn't bad. I'm kind of want to know if I get a discount because I have the original. If so, I'll get it. Otherwise, I'm not paying full price for this. I don't know. GQ, do you have any thoughts on Knights and Tight Spaces?
I did play the early access
Because
demo,
you played
and I filled out the incredibly
Tight
long
Spaces.
feedback form. I kind of gave him my 2 cents on it. I told him that like try not to stray away from the spirit of fights in tight spaces because it's not. It seems like you're trying to branch off to another thing,
Mhm.
and then the unique look of fights in tight spaces. So go ahead, Blue. Oh, you got cut out. Oh no, we're losing them.
Yeah. Well, we're trying. But yeah,
There's a plane flying by.
no, I can definitely see where you were coming from as far as your feedback on Nights in Tight Spaces, and
Mhm.
you know how you want to you know keep to the vibe, keep to the original spirit of the first game.
Yeah, I specifically wrote like a long paragraph about it. How I get what they're going with this new art aesthetic and like the whole different look of the game. Maybe they're trying to separate the two, but if it's a sequel, they really need to honor the first game in some way, and why and how people fell in love with it. Because in the sequels, people tend to be like, "I want more," but with a little bit of spice on it, right?
Right.
And if you stray too much from that, and because you're catering to everyone now, I think what's going to happen is that they're going to lose the spirit of the game that everybody fell in love with, to get a bigger audience, and they're going to also kind of like insult, if not offend the hardcore. Like, give me a sequel.
Yeah,
That's
just straight up
assuming.
alienate the original fan base.
Correct, and that's assuming this is a true sequel. But if they were like, this we wanted this to be something different than Fights in Tight Spaces, completely like just a spin-off of it. If that's what their goal was, they're doing a good job. But if they're trying to get the whole, yeah, these guys, we want the whole audience of the first one to be on this one, it's at this point it's kind of wishy-washy, and I let them know that very wholeheartedly in that feedback, because I was also one of the early adopters of Fights in Tight Spaces, and I played that game a lot, so I really meant a lot to me.
Heck yeah. All right, let's try
Hopefully
and
Breeze
loop
okay.
back one more time.
No. He's gonna have to chat in the chat room.
Whoops. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Blue said his internet may have gone out, so mm, that could uh that could put a damper on that.
No, all good. I mean, what were like, I guess, like some of your takeaways from, I mean, if we're not going to talk about anything specific, because we're going to wait for Blue here to come up with those titles, but for at least for the Summer Games Fest, like, and the state of play, I guess, what were some of your takeaways? Where do you think the industry is going, and like kind of like what is hot right now? What do you think is going to really sell to gamers? Like, what's your climate check on the industry, Ace? There you go.
Well, my climate check on the industry. Uh, let's look at it from the well. Let's step a little bit further into our wheelhouse. Let's look at it from the fighting game perspective, and boy howdy, with everything they've been showing with Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, that is going to be
Mm,
a hot ticket item next year for
mm.
sure.
Love the art direction.
Oh yeah, like it feels like with Samurai Showdown. With Samurai Showdown, they were starting to, SNK was starting to feel themselves. KOF 15, they were trying to split the difference between the stylism of Samurai Showdown with the foundation they set in 14. But then City of the Wolves, like they put out City of the Wolves, and just that sort of poppy newsprint comic book style,
Halftone. That's what. Yes, the
just
halftone. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that right there sealed the deal. Like that is their look.
They found their identity, right? That's what you're looking for.
Exactly.
Um, the reason why I bring this up is because everybody knows Maximilian, dude, right? That's his wheelhouse, right?
Hmm.
He said, and I can't believe I heard him say this. He said if there was to be a Capcom versus SNK 3, he wants SNK to make it, not Capcom. That is big for Max.
Yeah.
um, he's a Capcom fanboy, and for him to say, "No, I want SNK to make this sequel," that's like a big props. SNK should be watching that and patting themselves on the back because you converted somebody. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, I'll put it to you this way: like there was a tweet that I saw with Max coming back from Summer Games Fest, and he was speaking he was speaking directly with Odasan, and he said, Odasan was like, "Look, Max, tell me what you liked about the game and what you don't." He specifically said, "Give me the dirt so we can work on this."
Hmm.
And
Hey,
yes,
everybody.
He's
welcome back,
alive.
Blue.
I'm on my phone now. Let's see if this will work. Do I sound good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I'll do it like this from now on because this is more stable, sadly.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
So, all right. Thanks again for keeping it going. So next, I have a very odd thing that was in one of the indie ones. Tomba Special Edition.
I'm sorry, what?
A, a
What?
Tomba Special Edition was announced in the Gorilla Showcase. I'm not joking about that. That's a real thing.
Bro. That is a name I have not heard in years.
Yeah, that's real. What the heck?
Yeah, no, I was like so confused when I saw that. I had to share that with people because it's the weirdest place to put it.
Hold up.
Wait,
Tomba.
it's being developed and published by LRG. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see.
That's wild.
Going down on this list. Double Shake. I kind of mentioned this to Ace. It's Mischief Makers. If you want another Mischief Makers, they're making it.
That one.
Double shake.
Double Shake, yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, the art is immediately mischief makers.
Yeah. After that, let's see. Iron Meat. I pronounced that terribly. That's Contra. I played the demo for it. Fantastic.
Is that one word?
It's 2 words, I think. It might be 1.
Okay. Like, oh, oh yeah, that's like Blazing Chrome. Neat.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
I still need to get that.
Okay. And I think that's it for the indies and Tomba. I kind of felt I had to tell people that Tomba existed again.
It's back,
Indies
guys.
and Tomba. That's still
Tomba
just.
is back.
I am perplexed.
Funny story, like super short. I always thought Tomba was the reject Joe and Mac. Like he couldn't make it into the Joe and Mac team. And so they're like, Tomba, you got to get your own game, man. You're not cool enough to hang out with us. That's what I thought it was when I was younger.
All right. So that brings us to the Summer Games Fest show proper. And it started off, we had that discussion about the God of War PC release. I felt that should have been here because what they started with was the Horizon Lego game. And I'm
baffled.
that's so weird. Also, that's coming to Nintendo day one and PC, I think.
Yeah,
Bro,
that makes sense because
But Nintendo makes sense. Yeah.
We talked about like how what do you call it? The console wars is dead. Everything's gonna be on everything, right? And I think publishers and companies don't want to pay out that exclusivity anymore. They're just like, fuck it. Well, we'll let them release on everything, but we just got to make the best hardware for this thing. Like I just get that vibe. They just don't want to pay for that anymore.
Yeah. I don't really have any thoughts. I don't care for Lego games. They're neat to play with like a younger cousin for me, but I don't do much else with them. So after that, we had No More Room in Hell 2. I didn't play the first one, and I know nothing about this, so I don't know if you guys have anything.
It looks cool. That's all I gotta say. Like I'm interested in playing it, but I don't have no history of this game.
Okay. After that, we have the Quidditch game, and the only note I took was Harry Potter esports. Lol.
That's it. I'm not a Harry Potter guy, so I got no comment.
You know, if,
Then we had Cuff Busters, and that was that game made by the guy who made Choo Choo Charles. And my note was bad looking prison escape game because they have that one that's like 2D that's already on Steam. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
you mean the Escapists?
The Escapist, that's what it's called.
I think I do remember watching this one. I think I was impressed because isn't this just made by one guy?
It is made by one guy.
That was like the only
Um,
thing that stood out to me. Like that's impressive. That's all it is.
yeah.
That's fair.
Then we had, and then we had a Star Wars Outlaws teaser. I don't have any comment. I don't care about Ubisoft. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts, GQ?
Not really. No, nothing. I don't want to get into it.
Okay. Then we had Nera, which is the next game from the people who made Grease, spelled Gris. My only note was I hope it's more interesting than Grease, because I remember I laughed my ass off when a chase sequence started and I went to go use the bathroom and the game would not let me die. So I just got bounced all the way to the end.
What?
That's my only memory of that game.
It just gives me what is that? Child of Light and Hollow Knight combined.
It's less than that. It's basically a walking simulator.
Oh, I'm talking about Neva.
I'm talking about Grease. I don't know about Neva.
Yeah.
I wrote Nera. Oh no, that's a Neva. I wrote a messed up V. Okay. Well, after that we have Civ 7.
Love it.
And my only
I love it. I've been playing Civ 6, so I love it.
my one note was Sid Meier is alive.
That's what I
I
said.
didn't know that. I thought that's a Mandela effect thing there.
I was like, wow, I thought he's dead.
Yeah. All right. Here's our second Chinese Souls-like game that was advertised. Wukong CG trailer.
For Black Myth Wukong?
Yeah, for Black Myth Wukong. It's a CG trailer. I have nothing to say. I'm kind of interested in it. It's the one that I think's most along, and I think it's going to kind of tell us whether or not these games are kind of good. I know GQ's been paying attention to it. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it.
A couple things on Black Myth Wukong. First, as somebody that's been playing games since I was like 5 years old, I've never really seen a Chinese company put out something this like highly anticipated. So that's like a big thing for me in my life. Not because I'm Chinese, it's because like it's mostly just Western and Japan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So to have a Chinese company pull out something like this that's not like free to play or anything weird like that, it's pretty crazy. And the second thing is, if you buy the collector's edition of this, it won't have a physical disc. I hate that. That's all I gotta say.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell no. No.
Yeah, not great.
I don't know what the next game was. I just have VR game.
Once
I don't. Was that it? Okay. Then I have
remember-
Once Human separate from VR game for some reason.
I
I just wrote
one of
Looter
the-
Shooter by Once Human.
I remember one
I don't
of the
know
VR
why.
games that they were talking about, or that I saw news on, was a Batman Arkham VR game.
Oh my
We're
god!
getting to that. We're
Okay.
getting to that. So after Once Human, I have Warhammer Space Marine 2. That still looks cool as hell. Really looking forward to that. It looks like the closest thing we'll get to like a Western Muso. Just like the first one was.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's fighting Tyranids in that. That's why. Yep.
Yeah, I would go watch some trailers for that, Ace.
I will very much need to.
Yeah. Metaphor Refantasio. My note is show the trailer, please. It's good. Because they spent like 5 minutes on stage poorly trying to explain what the combat is when the trailer did it perfectly fine.
Show, don't tell.
So, as somebody that's not too versed in Atlas RPGs, right? But knows them about them. Like, this has nothing to do with Persona, right? It just looks like Persona.
No,
Okay, it's making
it just
sure.
looks like it. This is a brand new IP as far as we know. It's
Yep.
not even like SMT where it's like an alternate timeline to Persona.
No, it's just a straight up brand new IP.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
with that said, they need to be super clear on that in their marketing because as somebody that's like knows about those games and I appreciate the art. I honestly thought it was like, is this a Persona like 5 or 6, 7, whatever sequel because of the UI? Yeah, let's just hope that doesn't fall into that category where people get confused.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're at Batman VR game, and my only note was sigh.
Yeah, that was same.
I just saw that. I was like kind of getting excited, and then I heard VR, and I just checked out. And it's supposed to be like a sequel to Batman Origins, which kind of stings even more.
Yeah. The VR part sucks. The only other comment I have on it was, oh, the new Batman voice isn't too bad.
If it's what's his name who voices Sonic, he did a good job in Origins.
Oh, Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah, Roger Craig Smith.
So they still got one of the good ones then.
Yeah. So then we have Street Fighter 6 Season 2. I said it looked good. Terry Bogard, Mai, Elena, and the most controversial being M. Bison.
He's got nothing to talk about on this one.
I think he already said what he wanted to say in a previous stream, so I'm not going to force him to say anything else.
Yeah, basically doesn't quite, bringing Bison back doesn't quite feel like they're moving the story forward. However, there's certain call outs, certain things in the trailer for Bison that, actually show that they're trying to differentiate it, right?
Bison, yeah, pretty much.
Because I mean, they're still really playing up on the whole, another host body thing. So it is very likely that number one, this is going to be a different Bison than the one that's been plaguing us ever since 2. But also, the way he looks and plays, and I mean just like animates, it feels like it's a cross between Street Fighter Alpha and CVS2 Bison.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that in the animations.
So if nothing else, I'm looking forward to actually seeing, just what all each of these characters is going to bring to the table, and I know for a fact that I will be hounding them in World Tour as they release.
All right. Well, after that, we had Tears of Metal. My note for this was Scottish Muso.
What?
It also had some tactics stuff. Yeah, Tears of Metal. You can look that up because I was looking at it. It's not like a full Muso, but I kind of saw some elements of that. But there's also like command gameplay and stuff. So
More like
I thought that was a little interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
After Tears of Metal, we had Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I'm looking forward to this. This is like what's supposed to replace Budokai Tenkaichi, which I have some nostalgia for.
Yeah, I mean they have some big shoes to fill with Fighters Z, whatever. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it. I love Dragon Ball. Probably get collector's edition, etc. My only thing on it is the name sounds like a fucking energy drink, sugar free.
It does, yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
All right. After that, we have
Dragon
Delta
Ball Sparking
Force.
Zero, presented by Heatap.
Yeah.
Right. So after Dragon Ball, we had Delta Force. I I just have military tactics game. I don't really have an interest in this. I think it's also going to be a live service. I don't have much to say on it.
I think this game is like one of those, like, we have Battlefield at home back then in like the 2000 era, and
That's what I was feeling.
yeah, and apparently there's a huge fan base of this game, right? And I think it's like the hipsters of like people that didn't want to play Call of Duty and Battlefield, and so they grabbed everybody that was into this game and made like, okay, we're gonna update it. It's literally just Battlefield as a live service, I think. So that's what it's gonna be.
Okay. All right. The next one, Fatal Fury. It showed off, what, 2 new characters? And I know you guys have more on that, or
Yep.
have more on that game. I haven't played any Fatal Fury game, so I don't know much.
It's never
Well,
too late.
Yeah, the 2 new characters they showed off.
Yeah.
One was, of course, a returning favorite with B. Janet. Let's just say a whole lot of people was parched.
Bro, I think she's replaced Mai in this game. If Mai doesn't show up, that she is the new Mai, I think.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, but the other character, go ahead, Ace. This other character is right up my wheelhouse. So you
Yeah.
tell me about it.
Vox freaking Reaper. At first, like when I first saw him, I thought, okay, is he actually like, is he supposed to be like Grant without the costuming, without the Batman type of aura, the anonymity? But no, it's Vox is Grant's pupil, Grant's disciple,
Mm-hmm.
and like the way they incorporated Grant's original moveset, but still, really gave him his own, his own look and his own arsenal to like mesh with that. I feel like Vox is to Grant like Rock is to Terry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say something like that. I was gonna say Ken to Sean to Ken, but yeah, this is the same energy.
Yep, and I dig it. I don't know if I'm gonna main him, but the problem is I don't know who I'm going to main because everybody in that game looks dope as hell.
Yeah, it's
Everybody.
it's one of those things where like the design of a character tells a lot of the story and lore without having to say anything,
Exactly. I mean,
which is a good design.
right, and I mean like, the little facial markings, duplicating Grant's horns. Let's see, around his waist, there's the clasp and the tattered cape, and then of course for his level 3 where he busts out the mask and puts that on and goes to work,
They didn't have to do that, but they did.
and I appreciate it.
Yep, that's right.
That's that is exactly what City of the Wolves feels like to me. It's a wonderful sequel to Mark of the Wolves, and there are so many little things in there where it's like they didn't have to, but I'm glad they did.
Right. And I think Blue, earlier, while you were trying to troubleshoot, I was talking about honoring the origins of games when sequels come out, and this is one of
Yeah.
those things where they didn't really have to try too hard. Like if I never played Garou, right, and I see this new character Vox, and I'd be like, oh, he looks cool, right? But then like people that know, like, is that Grant's mask? Like new players won't know who Grant is. They like, but the people that have been playing this game, they're gonna be like, oh, I see what they did there. And that's, I think, when you get those moments where like the new and the old can kind of get together and appreciate the coolness.
Yeah.
That's when you've made a great sequel, not just like, I'm gonna cater everybody and then no one's gonna like it. That's the problem with that. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Okay. We might speed up a little bit because I forgot how much was in the Summer Games Fest section. There's a lot. So, all right, I'm just going to kind of rapid fire some of these until we get to something I think is really interesting. So, first, Battle Crush. My note for that was Power Stone. It looks like a Power Stone game. Mecha Break. Cool designs. They didn't show any gameplay in this one. That's why I wrote that. Blumhouse Publishing. This looks interesting. I'm looking forward to more like indie games coming that aren't just. I don't know. I hate kind of what's happened to indie horror games. We can talk about that another day. Power Rangers beat 'em up. That looked cool.
Yes.
Deer and a Boy, pretty. Kingdom Come Deliverance. This is a weird, uplifting tone for a game where you play as a peasant. I don't know. I'm going off of what the first game was like. Slitterhead. Okay, I want to talk about this. This is the Silent Hill guys' new game, and this game looks really, really, really jank.
In a good way.
I
or
still
a
want
bad
to see
way?
more, but I'm a little worried on that because I like the idea of what it is, and like the idea that you can like throw your hand out and then like yo-yo it back with a gun in its hand. Uh, but it did. The gameplay kind of looked messed up. Okay, next we have Killer Bean. I'll let you guys talk if you want to say anything about that.
Yo, I want to get it. Killer Bean looks dope.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I'm not gonna tell my friends I played this game, but I'm gonna play it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
am. I don't.
I will.
I will tell people I played this game. It looks so stupid, but it's
My
looks so
note
much
for Killer
fun.
Bean is action in all caps.
Isn't it?
Yes.
I feel like I saw Just Cause with a bean mod.
Basically,
It does, yeah.
it's like it's like the Kung Pao version of Just Cause.
Why a bean though, man? Come on now. What's
Yeah.
going on?
All right, back to speeding through stuff. Cairn, cool mountain climbing game. Wonderstop. This is that tea house game, and it looks like it might have some action. Unknown 9 Awakening. I've seen other trailers for this. I still don't know what this is. Anotria. It's a Souls-like. I played the demo. It's okay. First Descendant. I'm interested. I'll probably play it because it's free.
I'm in.
Uh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm already all in there.
Okay. Outer Sloth Publishing. This is they announced a new like indie publisher. I just want to shout these guys out because they were part of my childhood. They made the Henry Stickmin games. If anyone in the audience knows what that is, they made a lot of Flash games and kept me busy when I was in middle school.
Okay.
Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. This looks really good. It looks like they added a bunch of levels for Shadow specifically. Don't remember the pricing. I hope it's not a full price game though.
Probably 40.
Probably 40. That's what I'm hoping. Dune Awakening, the MMO for Dune. I don't care. Battle Aces RTS. That's not an RTS. You mean a MOBA? That's my note. Then there is Finals update. I don't play Finals. I don't think you guys play Finals.
Nope.
I will admit that I was wrong and thought this would be a short-term fad. Alan Wake 2 DLC and physical announcement. That's good for those people. I still haven't played the game. New World relaunch. Honkai Star Rail. Dark and Darker. This is a medieval extraction game that I guess they finally won their court case because they were being sued by a former company.
Damn.
And I think they won the case, and now they're able to go back on Steam and Epic. I am gonna murder this name, Kunitsugami.
Yep.
We got a little bit more gameplay. I'm kind of interested in this. I'm still not entirely sure what it is, but I like weird stuff from Capcom, and I would like them to make more weird stuff.
Weird stuff from Capcom is how we got God Hand.
And
yes, it is.
What was the other one? Legion? What's the other one, Ace?
Chaos Legion.
Chaos Legion. Chaos Legion, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hyper Light Breaker. I as someone who played Hyper Light Drifter and their next game, Solar Ash, this game is not doing it for me. I don't like it. It's like a third-person shooter thing, and it's just not doing.
Well, hold on.
Then there,
Why do you think that is, Blue? What it's not doing it for you?
I guess maybe I just don't want it to be like what's that other like kind of third-person shooter collection thing?
Borderlands?
No, I'm thinking of I can't think of the name of it. I don't know. I don't know. Every time I see it, the action doesn't look very good to me, and that's what's kind of bothering me.
Yeah.
It looks very. Nothing looks like it has good impact on it, and that kind of bothers me.
It sounds like they used the name of what made them popular to make another game to get people to play it.
Yeah, because Hyper Light Drifter is a 2D game.
It's a Zelda
that's
game.
kind of yeah. And it was just known for it was like one of those boss rush games when that was like popular.
Gotcha.
Okay. Then we have Skate. That's a thing again.
No one skates anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Then we have Pal World. My note is I'll get it someday. Then we have Valorant announcement. Also, a funny thing about this, it seems like they're gonna be releasing on console the same time Concord is releasing, and that's gonna be funny to watch.
Dude.
Then we had Monster Hunter Wilds again. We talked about it. Then we had Phantom Blade Zero, the third of the Chinese Souls-like / action games that are being made.
That's my game. That's the game I chose.
I'm looking forward to this one.
From what I've seen,
Phantom Blade Zero. This one looks the best.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I've played one of their indie games before. They're pretty good.
I just miss MGR. This game reminds me of MGR.
It does, yeah. Let's see.
I feel that in my bones.
All right, that's the end of Summer Games Fest. It's, to me, a big mixed bag because there was a bunch of okay stuff, a couple of really good things, and then a couple of really bad things. It wasn't as draining as the beginning of Sony State of Play, but it didn't leave an impact because I just read off like 40 games, and that might be a bit too much.
And what's more is that, again, compared to State of Play, most of the stuff that we're all hyped for is third party.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, let me see. We're going to go through, I got some more indie stuff. I'm just kind of looking over this real quick if there's something really interesting.
Surprised we didn't get a new Lost Souls Aside trailer.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised.
I'm surprised we didn't get a Visions of Mana trailer. That's supposed to come out this year. We didn't get crap from it.
That's worrisome.
Still looking. Key Locker from the Latin American Expo. This was like an expo for people in like South America mostly. This is a Mega Man Battle Network type game.
Jago said that game came out, the Visions of Mana.
It came out?
I'm sorry, what?
That's he's saying. Hold up, that
There's
came
no
out.
way.
Unless he's talking about Lost Souls Aside.
Another Mana? I'm pretty sure that Visions is not out. That would be so insane.
That'd be weird. There's like no marketing on it for a Mana game.
To be fair, Megaten Musashi didn't get much marketing.
Yeah.
That's true.
That game came out? I didn't know that game came out. What the heck?
See?
I'm going to look it up now.
Yeah. Oh, also Naughty Geese, which is basically Yoshi's Island. So those are two indies that kind of caught my eye. Uh, oh, this is a big one. Parcel Core. Played the demo for this. It's like Crazy Taxi mixed with Jet Set Radio. It's awesome.
You
I
what?
love it.
Wait, what?
And yeah, it's great. The one thing you'll have to get used to how it controls, because the way it controls is with your left stick, it controls what direction you are going.
Hmm.
And by that I mean like think of it like a tank game where if you pull like down to the left, your character will start turning and start going that way in regards to the camera.
Mm.
There's a reason for that, and it's to be able to take turns a lot better. Once you kind of realize that and wrap your head around it, you'll start doing some really good stuff. But yeah, Parcel Core, uh, probably top billing. Let me see.
Oh, and Jagos was saying that the launch date trailer for Visions of Mana came out today.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. So, well, that's good. They decided to do that right before we did this. So, I guess we'll see that after we finish streaming. Okay, we've gotten to Xbox. Now, this list, warning, I kind of put this one together quick. I just had to go online and find an article and copy down what was announced there because I
absolutely.
didn't feel like rewatching it because I watched it at work and I drive around a lot when I'm at work. I didn't have the time to just write down things as it was going. I have watched it though. So this will be just kind of out of order. I think it's first party stuff from Xbox and then it's third party and then some updates. So first thing, Age of Mythology. I really like the Age of Empire games and I really liked Age of Mythology. I'm looking forward to this.
I played that.
Avowed. Oh, you getting that? Yeah, I could see that. Avowed has me worried because this is a game made by Obsidian where they've not shown a single conversation, like an RPG conversation. It's just been the action, and the action looks okay, like an Obsidian game would look. So there's that. Call of Duty Black Ops. This will probably have the best story in a Call of Duty game in a while because it's being made by Raven Software, and that kind of depresses me. I miss Raven Software. Singularity and uh, the Wolfenstein game were amazing,
Mm.
but they're in the COD mines now. Oh well.
They got it.
Uh,
They job.
all right, next game, Doom: The Dark Ages. This is looking
Yes.
really good.
That's all I gotta say. Yes.
I hope they don't bring back the weird rotation gimmick they had from Doom Eternal. It worked for that game. I don't want that again. I think if people will know what I'm talking about, because you used to have to like use a flamethrower, use a chainsaw, and then use a grenade in that order or more to get resources back, and it got a little tiring. I think
Yeah,
it worked for that game, but yeah,
yeah. I was recently playing Shadow Warrior 3, and they do that. You melee kill somebody, you get ammo, and then you
yeah.
shoot, you get health. Yeah, I get that.
Well, there's even more to it in Doom Eternal, and that's kind of it gets a little tiring by the end.
Yeah, they're forcing.
Fable is next. I would like them to show me gameplay. I do not. They still haven't shown it really, unless you want to count walking forward as gameplay because that's what they showed and talking to people, and it wasn't even like a conversation tree.
Papa just
And the
stopped.
same thing for their previous like trailer. This game feels fake to me. I don't know. It's weird. Also, for some reason, they have Crystal Dynamics working on this. Um,
Great.
no,
So
they have Eidos Montreal working on this, and they have Crystal Dynamics working on Perfect Dark, which is
Oh,
really weird.
another company getting ready to throw Crystal Dynamics under the bus like Square Enix did with Avengers.
Mm.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, you guys have any thoughts on? Well, we'll get to the other thing because that we compared Fable to when we were talking GQ. Then we have Gears of War E Day. This is a prequel to the Gears of War games because it's E is for Emergence Day, which is what they called the invasion of the locusts. Was it the locusts?
Yep. Locust.
Yeah. Okay. It's been a while since I played Gears of War. It was a CG trailer. I'm sure it'll be good. I usually like these games.
Hope so. I mean, it's Xbox doesn't have a lot of games to look forward to, so I'm happy for all the Gears fans.
Yeah.
Again,
All right.
every system needs their mascot. With
Mhm.
Xbox,
Yeah.
it's Marcus and Dom.
Yeah. Next, we have Indiana Jones.
Oh
This
my
is another game I kind of wish we would have just solid gameplay because they showed another montage like they did in January. Also, at the end of this montage, they had Indiana Jones miss his shot. I don't think that was on purpose.
I First of all, it's Bethesda, so like, what can we expect, right? Um,
I
Also, it's
well,
like aside from looking like Harrison Ford and playing an Indiana Jones game, who hasn't played Uncharted? That's all I'm saying.
yeah, well, it's in first person, which is really weird.
That's really weird. Never mind.
And also, they decided most of what they showed today was just a single cutscene that was like 5 minutes long. It was a decent cutscene, but it was like, this is a terrible way to show your game.
Hold on. It's
Yeah, you can go watch the
they're
the.
they're paying all this money for Indiana Jones to look like Harrison Ford, and it's in first person. What the heck?
Yes, it is in
What?
first person.
What
Well,
is
That
it's
the
makes no
the
point?
sense.
gameplay is in first person, but the cutscenes are in third person. I don't know why. Also,
That's
when you swing on your whip, it's in third person. So have fun with that. It's weird. This game weirds me out. So, Flight Simulator. I'm not surprised by this. I feel nothing about this. They will always show this because it makes them money. I have no ill will towards those devs. Good for them.
people buy it.
Mhm.
Yep. Perfect Dark. Um, so I mentioned, so this is going to be an immersive sim like Deus Ex games. I'm fine with that. This gameplay looked like a vertical slice, and by that I mean it didn't look entirely real. It looks like, if you want to get what I mean, look up like the original Last of Us 2 trailer or the first trailer we got for um, what's the Russian atomic Fallout
Metro.
game?
Atomic Heart.
No.
Metro.
Metro Exodus. Both of those kind of do have the same feeling as this, which I'm fine with. The weird thing I kind of want to mention is they have Crystal Dynamics working on this, who made the uh, recent Tomb Raider reboot, but they have Eidos Montreal working on Fable, but they made the Deus Ex games, and I kind of feel like you should switch them if you get what I'm saying.
Who made Mirror's Edge?
That was someone at EA. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, because I don't know why I just got Perfect Dark gave me the Mirror's Edge with a gun.
It did have some Mirror's Edge like parkour stuff in it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of part of why I feel like this is a vertical slice. Because one, while it has all that stuff, it was very linear. It was weirdly like you didn't have someone looking around. It was just like they were kind of straightforward, which is fine. Again, it's a thing to show off, but I don't know. I'll keep an eye out on this. I want to see. I hope it's good. I'm one of the few people who really loves Perfect Dark still. So after that, we had South of Midnight. Um, I wrote another game like Kena, Bridge of Spirits, which isn't a bad thing. I hope it does well. I don't know. I don't think I'll get a day one.
Yeah. Well, there's a market for those kind of games.
Well, it's doing that weird. It's like obvious that stop motion animation, which looks cool. I don't like it in the gameplay a little bit because it looks like it'll give me a headache over time, but I
Because
could be wrong on that.
playing Gumby. If anybody knows what Gumby is, chat.
Mm.
So after let's see, then we have State of Decay 3. I haven't played the State of Decay games. I don't know if you guys have anything to say on it.
I played the first one. It's like a more serious Dead Rising. That's the vibe I got from it.
Okay. That could be interesting.
Mhm.
Um then there was okay, we're to the that was the end of first party stuff. That was like 10 games, I think. And I think it looked all right. All right, now third party stuff. Assassin's Creed Shadows. There was another teaser trailer. They want you to watch their Ubi Direct. Again, I don't have any comments.
I got a lot of comments, but I'm not gonna hijack the stream for this.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Then we have Atom Fall, and my note for that was British Fallout. Oh, Ace is going.
He's gonna be right back.
Okay. Um, I kind of want Atom Fall to be kind of interesting. It looked. I would like to see more Fallout type stuff in like different environments than
Oh.
just America.
Made by Rebellion. That's cute.
Yes. We're gonna delay because the next thing I think we're all kind of interested in. I know Ace doesn't care for RPGs like Fallout and
Western RPGs.
the Bethesda type RPGs.
I mean, I don't think I am either. Like, I would say, like, I skipped Skyrim. Chat have not played Skyrim. I know it's a sin. And I have not played Dishonored. My God, I don't think I've played any Bethesda game really.
Dishonored's more like Deus Ex. It's an immersive sim
Yeah,
more
it's
than
like
an RPG.
open environment, right? But it's not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm
Yeah,
just like back and reflecting. I don't think I've really focused on any mainline Bethesda games. That's
okay.
interesting. Yeah.
All right. Ace is back for the thing I think we all liked, Expedition 33.
Oh my god. Bro. Turn-based
Bruh.
came back with a vengeance.
Yes, it did. I was getting a lot of like the combat looks like Legend of Dragoon based on those little mini games they showed. The few they did.
I'm down.
Because they have those little timing mini games for attacks.
I am so down.
Yeah, I gotta see more. If it feels like you're playing, what was that? Shadow Hearts, Ace. I think yeah, you're gonna get me hooked on it. But usually this aesthetic doesn't attract me. So but if the gameplay is good, I'm in.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I thought when I was like looking at it, I was like, Lost Odyssey.
Bro, hold on, pause. Wait, hold on. Where has a remake of that or a re-release of that been? Like, where is that? Is that lost in the vault of Microsoft? What's happening with that game?
It's a Lost
You can actually
Odyssey.
play Lost Odyssey on an Xbox Series X from the Xbox 360 disc, and apparently it runs amazing.
I'm
Like it's
glad.
the best way to play it.
But do you think it's gonna get more fans or any? Only people like old people like me and you are gonna know that game exists. The kids are not gonna know. And be like, first of all, you can play 360 games on your Xbox. I didn't know that. You know, like that's what they'll say.
Yeah.
It's one of the best RPGs on the 360. Like it just disappeared off the. It could have been Microsoft's Final Fantasy, but
Right.
no, I don't know what happened to it. Whatever.
But yeah, Expedition 33. Well, it's actually Claire Obscure Expedition 33. But the other thing I would say is I kind of posted on Twitter. The music sounds great. It's like a weird mix of like something from Nier, and then like when it kicks in, it's like kind of a Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what we know with Expedition 33. Next, we have Dragon Age. This was the worst trailer for Xbox.
Which is saying a
GQ and
lot.
I talked about that yesterday because that trailer is terrible because it establishes a terrible tone.
It's
It would be.
my
I'll
my
let GQ say.
my girlfriend was on that discussion, right? And she's a huge Dragon Age fan. She's played all of it from Origins to 2 to Inquisition, right? And I think what they did here, honestly, was this is not a Dragon Age for you. All the characters that you loved. I mean, we just talked about appreciating the past and then when you create a sequel,
Mhm.
this game spits on that. Like, absolutely does. Um, to not go on a tangent, it's just like we were expecting like maybe next level graphics from after Inquisition, right? And we looked up the art between the two, and we got like a Fortnite Dragon Age
I was about to
Fortnite.
say we got Overwatch
Yeah, exactly. And
if
once
we're
again,
lucky.
modern audiences strike again, and it's just not a Dragon Age for you. It's for the new audience.
And I'll bring up something I said in chat yesterday. It's funny because it looks like Fable and Dragon Age switched art styles. Because Fable used to be very cartoon,
Yes.
You're right.
and that's something else that bothers me about Fable.
It's funny that you say that because you just said that why is the Deus Ex team working on the other game that they're supposed to be good at making, and Crystal Dynamics is making the game that it's so weird. Like, what's happening here?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So next we have Flintlock, Siege Till Dawn or something. Played the demo. It was okay. I'm probably not going to get that until it's discounted.
That's cool that some of these already have demos out. That makes it.
Yeah, you can play them on Steam. There's the Steam Next Fest is going on.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Fragpunk. This was our fourth and final hero shooter.
Ugh.
I didn't even know about this one.
This was like you get like it's like a card a deck building game kind of, and you play cards to get perks. It looked all right, but it's a hero shooter, so I'm kind of out.
How can we be different than Overwatch? We add cards to the game.
Yeah. Okay. And then after that, we have the new Life is Strange. I don't know anyone here who cares.
Nope.
I'm
GQ,
good.
you no? Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Mecha Break did show some gameplay. I'm kind of interested in playing it. Again, I think that's going to be another free game.
Is this different than the one that hype ass one we saw from the other trailer? It looked like Zone of the Enders, or is this the same one?
This was in the Summer Games Fest as well, but you might be thinking of First Descendant.
Oh, this is
Because-
different. This is different. No,
Yeah.
there was one like mecha, like mostly in the air. This is all grounded.
Okay.
It felt like the combat was like a mixture of Gundam and Zone of the Enders, which was
Yeah.
super high fast. Yeah,
Yeah, that's Mecha Break.
is it?
Mhm.
No way. Okay.
Okay. All right. Then we have Metal Gear Solid Delta. I have my same feelings towards this as I do with Silent Hill 2. It looks good, but I'm a Konami hater. I'm not going to buy it. I'm just kind of staying out of it. But it does look solidly made.
I think the only thing I was like, because let's see, MGS3 wasn't my favorite MGS. I'm a big Solid stan, like the first one and the second one, kind of. But like the only thing that like really confused me about this is that like they're literally making this game on the shoulders of another great game that they already made using the Fox engine and Kojima's assets. So I don't know if they're like they're
I think
gutty. Like
part
his,
of what you said is what rubs me the wrong way the most. This is made on the shoulders of Kojima. This is Kojima's game.
yeah. No, that's what
Like,
I think.
and it
I
kind
think
of fucked him over.
I
So
think
it's like kind of shitty.
yeah, it's because he's not, since he's not there. I feel like they said you're fired, but leave your shit, and we're gonna make our own game after this. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
Yeah,
pretty much what
it's-
happened.
Yeah, because I was like, Metal Gear doesn't exist without Kojima. So how the hell did they make this game? That's what kind of bothered me.
It's a shitty move.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
now they're what do you call it? They're capitalizing on it now. You know?
Yes, they are, and that's kind of what I'm just don't like. Silent Hill 2 is a different thing because they got some of the people that worked on that who are giving their blessing, even though the blessing of the composer means nothing to me because he's an enabler. The other guy a little bit more, but the Metal Gear Solid one kind of bothers me because it's like they fucked over this guy and now they're profiting off of his previous work.
Basically, like no
Yeah.
matter what your opinion may be on Konami, the way they're doing Kojima dirty is just
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Anything Metal Gear that's coming out, we can't get Kojima out of our brain. But he made
Yeah.
Metal. So
Right.
that's on Konami to know that. You know?
all right. On to mixtape, which was funny enough. I watched the Xbox thing through GameSpot, and when this came up, they had to put up a sign and mute everything that said, "We don't want to be copyright struck," because it's a game about copyrighted music and going through. I guess it was like the '80s.
That's funny. Yeah, they're I guess they're doing the whole like Guardians of the Galaxy thing. You know, he has a mixtape. Maybe they inspired by that.
Maybe, which is weird because it's not a mixtape in the game. It's a CD-ROM. If you watch the trailer, they don't have mixtapes. It's CDR
They burn
players. Yes,
Yeah.
that annoys me. All right, Stalker 2. This is looking really good. I'm looking forward to this.
Man,
It
talk
looks
about
like it'll be a lot. Yeah.
that disappeared in the shadows. My God.
That. But Stalker 2 is looking like it'll be very good. It'll probably end up being better than the first one, which
I'm looking at the screenshots right now, and I feel like if you showed this screenshot of Stalker 2 and some like young person that's playing Tarkov, they probably couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been looking good. I've been looking forward to it as one of the people who did play Stalker weirdly growing up on the PC. It was one of the only PC games I ever owned growing up. So I'm looking forward to that. Next we have Winter Burrow, and my note on that was Mouse Don't Starve. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's
An American Tale, don't starve.
pretty much what
Yep.
it is. Survival. That's man. There's so many survival games out. It's disgusting.
I was writing down a lot of indie games. There were so many roguelikes. I just stopped adding them after a while because there's no point. Okay, we now have our final Chinese Souls-like game. It's
It is.
Wu Chang.
looks good.
It looks good. I think it looks great. But yeah, it is very weird that there's a very specific genre coming out of China.
Yeah. Well,
That kind of worries me a little bit.
let's think about it. Let's think about it like this. When did they get that money? And was Dark Souls like the shit during that time? You know,
Let's see, that was about 7 years ago.
that sounds about right. You know,
That would have been around when Sekiro came out.
yeah.
They might be basing it off of Sekiro, which looks like what most of them are.
yeah, and I feel like that's what happened. Is like, here's some money. Sekiro's whooping ass. Make something like that. And so these games take forever to make, so these games are planned out back then, and now they're just almost done, right? So I can see why it's like this. Same thing with the hero, probably.
Uh-huh. All right, I think that's it for games. The rest is like updates. I don't know if you want to talk about them. Diablo 4 is getting a big expansion, I think.
Mm.
Um,
I'll talk about that.
okay.
So first of all, if you pre-order it right now, you get like the new outfit for like that when that releases, which is like this like Aztec looking armor for all your classes, right? It's just to get you to pre-order the game, which is often to me a bad sign, to be like, here's a little tease for you because we know it's not going to be good, right? That's my thing on that. There's no gameplay on it whatsoever, no details. It was just a trailer.
Yeah,
so
it's just a CG.
yeah, that's not great. The thing that I wanted to talk about is that I think Diablo Immortal got 2 updates before one update on Diablo 4 for an expansion. They got like 2 new characters, and so that just shows you where their priority is that they rather make money
Yeah.
on mobile because it's cheaper than to focus on like a hot mainline title, because it's more expensive to dev for. So
Yeah.
look at what they do, not what they say, friends.
Yep. Let's see. Then we have an Elder Scrolls expansion. I don't think anyone plays that. Elder Scrolls Online.
That's crazy.
Fallout 76 expansion was announced. Again, no one here plays that. Sea of Thieves expansion. Starfield is getting a DLC, and it looks like they're trying to No Man's Sky this.
Oh boy.
I don't know if it'll work. It could not. I don't know. And then a World of Warcraft expansion was announced. And then, also they announced their digital Series X. And that's it.
Was that? Oh, that's the new model, right? That's only
yes, it's an all digital Series X with a 2 terabyte SSD. Everything else is the same as the Series X.
You sacrifice the drive for the disk space. Got it.
Pretty much.
Is it the same price?
It's $600.
What?
Yeah,
Nope.
I think. Yeah, you'd have to check. I'm pretty sure I saw $600.
It should be $5.
Yeah, it should. I think everything that they have on offer should be lowered by $100, and then put that at $5.
Bro, when was the Series X released? That is like what, a 7-year-old console now? Well, how old is that?
Series X was 2020, I think.
4 years old. That needs to be discounted. Jeez, that's wild.
See, man, I'm trying to wrap my brain around why they actually stuck with that particular price point, and it still boggles the mind.
I mean, the more I think about it, it's because they don't. If you don't get that, they just pretty much say get a PC and Games Pass. That's literally what they're trying to shoot for, because I think that, right? I think their goal is to go full digital. You will never own anything ever again, right? And
okay,
2,
I'm gonna correct myself real quick. You can continue after this. There's a 1 terabyte version that's $500, and a 2 terabyte version that is $600.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's the difference. Got it. It's still weak because they're nerfing your $500 version with no drive, which is already $500 with a drive, and they're charging you $100 more for another terabyte. Seems weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
all right. So that's, yeah. Well, the other thing is that it's really weird because PlayStation is gearing up to do the PlayStation 5 Pro, and that's probably going to be a little bit more powerful than the PS5 as it is. Whereas this one they didn't really improve anything other than an SSD, but you can't, like, a bigger SSD doesn't mean anything faster or better. It just means you have more space to save things, which is nice. But it kind of feels like I don't know, weird option.
I mean, they have to do some sort of premium model to justify it, right? And that's the only way for them to. I can't think of any other way they would incorporate $100 increase by because there's no drive anymore. It's not modular like the PS5 Slim. So
I can guarantee you a full terabyte of an SSD is not worth $100.
that's what I'm
You
saying.
look at 1 terabyte SSDs and 2 terabytes. It's like a maybe a $50 or $60 difference.
That's what I mean. And it's
Maybe.
like, with the $100 and a little bit more, you can get an external drive that's probably triple that size. Like
Yeah.
that's why it's really strange they went with that option. So, but I'm not at Microsoft,
Yeah.
so they're not making Killer Instinct, so I don't know. I don't care. That's all I
Yeah.
say.
So that's the end of the Xbox stuff. What did you guys think of it? I'll just say that I think it was good. While I had my complaints, overall it's good. There wasn't a whole lot of bad stuff. I think I complained about 3 things in this, and there was like 30 things. That's pretty good. I don't agree that it's the best showcase they've ever had. I think that kind of comes from the fact that Xbox has had a weak showcase over the past 4 years, and also the other two big showcases weren't that great either. And so a lot of people are like, "This is the best thing ever." I don't
I
know.
was to kind of expand on that. I think not necessarily the shows were like weak, but even though I feel like they were, I do feel that Xbox has been lackluster for a while. Like Halo was disappointing, no new Gears of War, right? Their IPs are kind of forgotten, and to see like them kind of go back to honoring like what made Xbox really cool, why you should get an Xbox over a PlayStation, like new Gears, new Halo, whatever. That I think people love that. They want to see that come back, and
Yeah.
just to get a reason to play only on Xbox. I guess in addition to that, I'd say props on Phil Spencer and Microsoft for letting Doom be on PS5. Appreciate that because they
Yeah.
didn't have to, but they did. Thank you.
The one concern I have about everything they announced, I want to say it was like 2/3 of what they announced here was they didn't have dates, but they had 2025 as the year. I'm gonna bet that over half of that gets delayed to 2026.
Yeah,
And I know that like because they still have things they announced from 2020 that still hasn't come out. I think Fable was announced in 2020.
100%.
Yeah, it's still not out.
Well, go ahead, Ace. I have my take on Fable, but go ahead.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that Fable. I could have swore that Fable was announced, back when like the Xbox One was still on the market.
Maybe that thing's been around forever, and it's like it's in development hell.
Yeah.
But what you gotta say, GQ on Fable?
I think Fable and Dragon Age are experiencing the same thing. I think a different group of people started the next gen Fable and Dragon Age, and then maybe there were some creative differences between the publisher and dev, and they were like, "Okay, we can't. No, you guys got to go. We're not going to accept that." So they had to hire a bunch of new people, and they had to scrap all the stuff that they started with to meet the new modern audience look. I know I keep bringing that up, but man, that's the stuff they tell us all the time, right?
Well, I can kind of explain that for Fable a little bit. The devs working on this are Playground. If that sounds familiar, that's Forza Horizon.
They know how to make an RPG? What the heck?
I don't know. I don't know why they would put car people on a game that's I don't think there's cars in Fable.
No, not at all.
And let's also consider this. With what happened recently with Microsoft shuttering those studios, especially Tango Gameworks, it left a bad taste in people's mouths that I feel very much has carried over to carried over to what they were showing with this presentation.
I will admit that's part of some of my negative feelings because Tango was I loved Tango. I think the only game that I wasn't like in love with was Ghostwire Tokyo.
It's
I
like,
know GQ doesn't care for Evil Within, and that's fine. But I loved those games.
it's
The
like,
only reason I don't like Evil Within is because I'm hot garbage in that game. I think the game's great.
I mean, while Xbox did have a good, while they did have a decent conference, the fact of the matter is just simply that, you know, because of what they did to those other studios, a lot of people look at Microsoft the same way we look at Konami when they try to push anything Metal Gear.
Hmm.
It's like you're trying to make your console the most dominant platform on the market.
Yeah.
You are missing one
Well, I
key
think
ingredient: Tango GameWorks.
I don't think Xbox. Well, I'm going to say Xbox. I'm going to say Phil Spencer because I don't think Phil Spencer cares if Xbox is a powerhouse console. I think Phil Spencer wants to make Game Pass his legacy. He wants to, what's the word? Shake up the industry with it.
Hmm.
He wants to make it the Netflix of gaming. And it kind of has happened, but at the same time, he failed in one aspect that Netflix succeeded in, and that is Netflix knew they had to make their own content at a regular pace. Xbox sometimes only releases one or two games a year, and that's not good. And yeah, they get a lot of these third party people, but that's stuff that doesn't stay on your platform forever. So it's a messy thing. Also, they're I guess that's the other part. Call of Duty is going to be on Game Pass.
Yep.
I am very curious to see how this affects the profits from it because we now know from the devs of Metal Hellsinger that Game Pass just eats your profits on Xbox and PC. Um,
What was
so
it
I'm,
that I read somewhere? Like I read that one Game Pass is not profitable immediately, but they are profitable, right? And I think the way it works, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like they often fork up the amount of estimated sales they think they'd make on a game to put it on Game Pass, right? Microsoft pays for that. So
yes,
so technically, if the game just sells like gangbusters, they lose money, right? Because they're just,
yeah.
but they're ensuring the survival at like probably a minimum, without loss, right? Um,
Xbox has to provide the amount that would basically keep the lights on for that developer.
yeah,
For a lot of developers to want to take that now,
Mm.
because otherwise, there's no good split.
and that sucks. It sounds okay, but that sucks because that just says we made this game to survive, not to like benefit us. Like
Pretty
there,
much,
It's
yeah.
a
yeah,
fundraiser.
there's no, and that's like I almost feel like that's a subtle way of Xbox saying we'll get rid of the competition this way. We'll buy them out, right?
That,
So yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, this is like you got to remember, this is part of Microsoft. And how did Microsoft make all its money?
software.
It wasn't computers. It wasn't anything else. It was software,
Yep.
software subscriptions.
I mean, also, who else has an OS aside from Mac, Windows, right? So you don't have a
Pretty
choice.
much.
They're literally
But
using Game Pass as the Windows for gaming.
yeah. Oh, I do want to mention because nah, we can talk about that another day. I think we basically kind of hit the wall of this because now we're just kind of rambling about Xbox. So yeah, this was overall this year was okay. I've had worse years of this. I don't know what you call this time period. I called it Gamapalooza in my video because I thought that was a dumb name.
Well, it's the new
Um,
E3, right? This is going to be our
Yeah.
E3 one. SGF.
yeah, I just wish we had a like proper name for it because the only other name I hear is like Summer of Gaming, and I kind of feel like that should have been just the one time. Um,
I guess
I
they
will
got
say that like
wintertime.
some of the indie showcases, I didn't name a lot of games, but like some of these have been really good overall. Like I named a handful of indie games, but
And
like
it's kind of like
the Guerrilla Collective, uh, Latin American Expo, and Future Game Show, I would recommend if you want to see just a bunch of like a wide variety of stuff.
Well, we still have Gamescom coming up, right?
yeah.
Yes.
We still have Gamescom coming up, and we still have TGS.
Oh, TGS, bless you.
Yeah.
I want to see some weird shit come out. I guess, like, guys, what are your takeaways from seeing all these games? Like, I know I have a few that really resonate with me, so I want to know what your guys' takeaways are.
Well, my big takeaway, as far as like the games that I'm really interested in, Expedition 33 is probably number one. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Presented by HeatTap.
Sugar free.
Yeah. Let me
Honestly,
see.
Andre pretty much mentioned all the ones that I've been interested in. You know, City of the Wolves, Doom, Astrobot, Killer Bean. Let's see, Power Rangers.
Oh, and Space Marines 2. Sorry.
Yes,
Yep.
I still need to check
Space
out
Marines
Space
too.
Marines too, but also
That's been delayed,
Expedition
by the way.
33.
Like, no, not now, but it's been delayed twice, I think,
I
historically.
think yes, it was supposed to come out last year around like November, I think.
Mm.
Mhm.
And then they delayed it to this year in
Sep-
September.
Yeah, I know because I pre-ordered the collector's edition.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty sick. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Not even that into Warhammer. It just looks cool. Sorry, go ahead. What else were your takeaways?
But no, I really just feel like '22 and '23, especially summer of '22 and '23, were like those were huge. Those were huge years for announcements, and
2023 especially because that's like when all the like really big stuff that's been cooking for a while got released. It was like all at the same time. And I think that's why this year's a little slower as far as big releases go.
exactly. Like announcements wise, it's a
Oh,
big
don't
week.
forget Tomba. That's I'm still glad I got to tell people about that because it's the weirdest place to put it. They put it in the middle of the Guerrilla Collective for some reason.
Right? But seriously though, fighting game fans are eating good this summer. RPG fans, I feel like, are really eating good this summer. And if you're looking for action games specifically from China, you know, China's now entering the market in a big way, much like Korea did.
Yes.
You know, the fact that we've got more Eastern developers actually coming through and really adding some, you know, at the very least, adding some variety in terms of, what's the word? There we go. Variety in terms of methodology in game design and development.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some Indonesian stuff coming down the line because they've been making a lot of indie games. Same thing for like Brazil as well.
I was about to say,
And that's like
considering Mohammed bin Salman. and how he's been buying up, good amounts of stock in companies like SNK and Capcom, I would not be surprised if game development started to take off in the UAE and in Saudi Arabia.
Maybe.
Like it really feels
But
like development and publishing is about to go global big time.
the reason I said Brazil and Indonesia though is that China, around when all of this started, back when they did the funds, actually just started kind of releasing a lot of indie games. I played a few of them. They're pretty good.
Mm.
And so some of those people wound up being it, like Phantom Blade Zero made a game that I think I actually own. Those guys did, and it's pretty good.
Okay.
But it's a small 2D hack and slash thing. And so I'm starting to see more stuff come out of those two countries. I wouldn't be surprised if in like 5 or 7 years' time we start seeing more stuff from them, which is good. I like getting weird crap from all over the spectrum, from all over the world. Like, let me see if I can find that weird ass game I saw from the Latin American. I had to write it down.
Well, you know what they say? They say competition breeds innovation. So
Bingo.
the more people participating in the market, I think the quicker that we'll see games evolve into like a race of like play, check us out first before these guys. So they're going to be fighting for that attention, which is good. It creates variety.
The game called Cabbage Effect, The Cabbage Effect, and my only note was a question mark by it. I didn't know what the fuck it was.
What?
What the hell?
The,
What is this?
the cabbage effect.
It's
That sounds like
the Cabbage Effect.
sounds like it should be called the cabbage incident.
I don't even know what I'm looking at when I'm.
That's why I wrote a question mark.
What the heck? What is the?
I'll
Well,
probably play it. I'll find out what it is.
yeah, I don't even know how to describe this picture. It's like a dude with a mustache, but the eyes are like nipples. What the heck? It's really weird.
It's
it's yeah,
insane.
it's trip. It's trip. That's all I gotta say.
That's why I put the question mark as my note, because I'm
cabbage.
like, I don't know what
Right, Andre.
to describe that as.
That's funny.
But yeah, I like kind of seeing weird shit from all over the place.
Oh yeah, that's right. Also,
Uh,
Latin America also brought us what you call it, Pocket Bravery.
yep.
So yeah,
Who did who
we're
did
in the age
Diesel
of
Legend?
here comes a new challenger.
Oh, I gotta mention one to you. I just remembered. Let me see if I can find the name exactly what it was. If I could find it. It was like Diesel Legacy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Diesel Legacy is like a brawler fighting game.
Yes.
yeah. Diesel Legacy looks pretty wild.
That's one of those moments where
Because at one of these indie things, they announced their like Potemkin character.
Yo, DM me the link to that shit. Like, I need it in my
You
veins.
might be able to just find it if you look up the. I think it's Diesel Legacy: The Brazen Age.
3-lane brawler
Bronze
fighting
Age?
game. I didn't know there were lanes. I thought it was just like
No, it was Brazen Age, not
Oh.
Bronze. I remember
Oh.
that.
Okay.
Interesting.
But you know what? I think this, honestly, right here is going to be a good time for us to wrap it up.
Yep.
Like,
Sounds good.
hey, I'm glad I had you guys on today. I'm glad you guys actually, went through the trouble of trying to organize this and set it all up. It's been a truckload of fun just getting the chance to sit down and, talk turkey with you guys and have the rest of the chat chime in as well. Again, I'm looking forward to doing this more
I'll
often.
probably have
and-
to. Yeah. Well, I'll have to probably record on my phone from if I ever come back, because once I did that, everything went smoothly.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But yeah, we can definitely we can definitely try and pick back up for definitely try and pick back up for Gamescom.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
So,
Gamescom it is. So yeah, we'll take a look at the dates, try and get something organized, and the Double KO Arcade will open once again for I guess convention season discussion. You know, because this is
yep.
basically what it is. This is gaming specific convention season, and there's I feel like there's a lot that's going to be coming down the pike. There's going to be a lot more, like, now that people are starting to lay eyes on more of this stuff that's either in development or is preparing to release, the more information people are going to get, the more hype is going to build. And honestly,
Fact.
even with even with everything that's been going on controversy wise in gaming, the best medicine that I could think of for it is just finding stuff to be excited about. You know, and if we can just remember that again, you know, we're going to be voting with our wallets come time for these games to release. We're going to be voting with our wallets, and the most important metric that's going to affect the market, that's going to affect the hobby, the industry, is not people saying, "Oh, I don't like this because of X, Y, and Z." It's going to be people
It's
talking up. It's going to be people talking up what they enjoyed about what came out. I mean, yes, people talking
exactly.
about. Sorry, just people talking about Xbox and PlayStation's flaws was a good thing because yeah, it you know, it it kept it kept everything grounded. It kept it real. But again, it's going to come back to just the simple fact that you know I'm not worried about what you're against. I'm worried about what gets you hype. I want to see what gets you coming back to X platform or coming back to X game.
Yep.
Breeze.
I'll continue probably making my videos, and I'll probably make a more concise version of what we talked today. But yeah, I think it is just you talk about what you like the most because it's easy to kind of just bash on things. But I kind of went out of my way to find the indie games that I liked because I can tell you now, I wrote down a lot of names. There's a lot of these that are not very good, um, but I don't think it's worth bashing them.
All right.
Anyway,
Let's rather play games than
yeah,
spread than bash. Right? There's always something to play.
There you go. Either there's always something to play that's either out right now or came out years ago that you can go back and revisit. The
Like Tomba.
that's the most
I didn't
underdog
know where.
announcement ever. I still don't know why it was in that showcase.
Is that first of all? Hold on. Is that a Namco game or is that a Capcom game?
Tumble, I believe, was
Um,
Namco.
it might be a Namco. I don't. I'd have to look it up.
Good one to find out. Yeah. The cream of the crop.
But
That's right,
exact.
brother.
Yep, it's exactly what Jagos is saying. It's exactly what Macho Man says. The cream rises to the top.
That little creamer. I love Macho Man.
But yeah, just again, keep
It
being
was
hype about.
published by Sony back in the day.
Okay.
Damn!
Okay, that's even weirder.
It
Wow!
is. The developer was Whoopee Camp.
What are they doing now?
They sound like the kind of developer that would make Tomba.
Right? That's crazy.
But yeah, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and call it here, and just as is per usual with every other stream I've done thus far, let me see if I can hit y'all with a little dose of what I like to call positivity with the daily reminder. And you know, this little piece of advice right here, I feel like is something that a lot of people don't really a lot of people don't really keep in mind because, you try to put forth a brave face, right? You try and put forth, the kind of unstoppable front that says, nothing can shake you. You can just keep pushing forward. But do remember this: it's okay to not be okay all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sitting here, my voice is going out. Like I'm about to go and inhale a kettle full of piping hot water and vitamin C just to try and kick whatever is trying to hit me right now.
You sure you can whatever you got going on?
Exactly. Like you don't it's okay to not be in top condition all the time.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that coin, do what you can to take care of yourself. If you are not okay, let somebody know. You never know who will be able to help you out. But that said, though, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go for the evening. GQ, Blue, once again, it was great having you guys here.